Well, first of all, Leah, I should imagine everybody wants to know update on the injured players. Unfortunately, you lost Joel Tabiner before the game on Tuesday, and then during the game, you lost Jack Powell. Can you bring your fans up to date with what's going on?
Yeah, Joel hasn't been out training with us today, so it's looking doubtful for the weekend with Joel. But we'll monitor that. We'll give him every chance to be available for selection on Saturday, but it's looking unlikely with him not being out there the last couple of days. But again, we'll have to just see how that goes. Unfortunately, it's the worst case scenario for Jack. He's done his ACL, so we're going to be missing him for some time. I'm absolutely gutted for him. And obviously you're gutted on the football side, but just for him, he's been excellent since he's been here. Great person, real driving force behind what we're trying to do. Been excellent on the pitch. So, you know, I ask everyone to rally around him and give him some support. Obviously his family are down south, so give him as much support as you can. He's a great lad. He'll probably meet this head on like he does with everything else, and he's already said he wants to shave some time off. The time scale will be back, so fingers crossed we can do that.
It just proves how football can quickly change.
It can. That's football. It'll be happening. It happened to their lad as well, didn't it? The same night, something serious. That's football. It'll be the same up and down the country. You don't want it happening to your players. But he's experienced enough to know what he's got to do to get back. Again, we'll give him every bit of support we can, and it opens the door and an opportunity for somebody else.
On the plus side to what's happened with your squad in the last few weeks, Charlie Colquitt's come back in, and Connor Thomas was a surprise addition for quite a lot of people on Tuesday night. What determines now between you and your staff when you can use them?
Well, obviously a bit goes into it with sports science, which you've got to listen to, because it can give you red flags in terms of where they're going to be at, the risk of injury after just coming back from injuries, re-injuring that same injury is high. So Connor, we thought for a scenario that might have happened, we spoke to him that we might have been able to get 20 minutes. Well, we would have been able to get 20 minutes out of him. And then obviously it was Charlie and Mattis were on the pitch, on the bench as well. We went with Mattis, was Luke then stepped into midfield, and we were able to play Mattis a little bit higher until we changed it to a 4 across the middle. But Charlie's certainly ready to go. Charlie Colquitt, he's got plenty of minutes under his belt now, so he's got to work hard and train hard like he does every day to force his way into the reckoning.
Just going back to what happened on Tuesday night, is it a case now you're analysing it with your staff and your players so that you can learn a lot from it if it ever occurs again? That's
exactly what we've done today, making sure we learn from it. I'll be angry, annoyed, not angry, I'll be annoyed if we don't learn from that. There's an air of like a deflated balloon type of scenario in the room afterwards, because we just thought, you know, we didn't show our best selves on the evening. We did brilliantly without the football. The obvious moments just turned the momentum of the game, but in terms of what we were asking the players without the football, they were brilliant. And then we just didn't really showcase ourselves the best we can with the footballs. But it's got to be a learning, and the players are taking it on board. They've been excellent this morning. I'm sure this type of scenario will happen again. If we don't learn from it, then it's our own fault.
Well, I think you know for certain that the group that you work with day in, day out as you prepare for matches will respond.
They do, and we walked in this morning, there's a great little buzz about the place again still in the video room, and they were waiting for us to get going, and that's what we've got to do. As long as we're all willing to learn and listen to each other and take critique in the right way, you know, it's opinion sometimes, but sometimes it's factual. If we're willing to take it on, even us staff, when we're after each other in the room, as long as we're willing to look to improve and move forward, that's what we're after, and like the players can't wait for Saturday now.
Well, like yourselves, Harrogate were defeated in midweek. Do you feel that can just add a bit more spice to it, because they will, like you, won't want to be losing back-to-back games? Yeah,
nobody likes to lose back-to-back games. They've actually got a really good squad. I think, in fact, they've had one of the hardest starts to the season in terms of where you look at the points have been picked up for the opposition they've played. So they've actually had one of the hardest starts to the season. They've got some good players that we know, player that I played with. We know what they're about, and if we're not at it to our maximum, then we're going to come up stuck, because they've got some good players who can punish you from the formation and the way they play.
those players that the Crew fans will know about are Rod MacDonald, of course, and Kane Ramsey.
Yeah, I actually really liked Kane when he was here as a player. I thought he was the modern day fullback. I actually got on with him pretty well, even though I wasn't working with the first team. I took 21s, 23s a couple of times and he played. I actually think he's a really good player. There's still lots of potential to come. Obviously, Rod did brilliantly for the football club. You know, the reports, and spoke to a couple of people. He's doing really well there. He took a nasty cut on his eye earlier on in the season, so he's had to get over that. So, you know, obviously it'd be nice to see him, but we'll talk to him after the game.
You spoke a little bit about Harrogate having a tough opening to the season, and one thing that seems as though they are finding it difficult is to score goals, and I suppose you're not. I know you did the other night, but that was a rare occasion that happened. On the front foot from 3 o'clock for you.
Yeah, it is, and look, goal scoring is the hardest thing to do in football. It is. So look, every team will go through a spell where they're finding it more difficult to score goals, just because simply it's the hardest thing to do. But yeah, we've got to be on the front foot. We know how we want to play, and you say front foot, and everyone just think you're running, but that breaks out to a lot of factors in terms of what we'll be telling the players, the information we'll be giving them, how we want to do it, not just charging around the pitch. And you know, there's got to be some detail to it. Like I say, the players are looking forward to it. They worked really well this morning and this afternoon, so we're looking forward to it. It's
that final one game in the league to come before you take the break for the FA Cup. Does that add a bit more importance on it for you to get back into the winning way?
You want to win, obviously, Graham, but I take every game as important as the next game. So this game's important for its own rights, and then we've got a tough game against Derby, which we'll be taking seriously and is important. Slightly, you know, a different competition, but a game we want to win. So we're concentrating on this, and then we'll reflect on the couple of games that have gone as staff after Saturday.
Just got to get me facts right. I have to write it down so it makes sense, just in case you check me out. But I'm pretty sure you'll know this as well. Interesting in Harrogate Town, manager Simon Weaver, 14 years at the club.
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. What a great job he's done. I had a good conversation with him last year. Really good fella. Spoke with a lot of sense. Knows what he wants from his football club. Built that football club up, and as you go there now, they've progressed the facilities and everything. It's just a great achievement to do. He'll probably be the last one, won't he? It just won't happen. I don't see it happening again in football. I think Pep Guardiola is probably the only man who could make that happen left in football. Klopp won't be far off. So take them away.
I'm jumping in. I've got Lee Bell around about 15 years.
Yeah, it's a long time, Graham. It's a long time. But I just think it's brilliant. And again, they just keep trying to evolve it. And it's just such an amazing achievement. Because take them two away, I've just said. I just think for anyone to do that for so long is just an amazing achievement.